Good evening. Welcome to the August 15th, 2024 Clarksburg City Council meeting.
Ryan Deems.
Here.
Martin Howe.
Present.
Will Hyman. Mark Jackson.
Here.
Wayne Worth.
Here.
Vice Mayor Riffle.
Here.
Mayor Malford. This evening we have our prayer and our pledge by Councilmember Worth.
If you could bow your heads with me. Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening in gratitude and recognition of the blessings you have brought to our lives. Lord, we are blessed to live in a country where the very citizens that fill this room can participate and influence the decisions that are made up here and in our community. Lord, each one of us up here is blessed for the people in the community who believed in us enough to elect us to these seats. And Lord, we're also blessed for the folks who are critical of the decisions we make up here, as it helps us self-reflect and become better leaders. Most importantly, Lord, we are grateful for you and the many blessings that you bring to our lives and others. In these very chambers, Lord, above the great seal of the city of Clarksburg, it says, "In God we trust." It is a symbol of our faith and our gratitude to be able to serve you. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Petitions, communications, and public hearings. Mary Kay Lindsay wishes to address council.
There's so many people coming down, where our restaurant is, that some of the older ladies don't feel safe now, to even come. So, because they would spend the whole afternoon. So, what's going on down the street is really, hurting our business. That I just think it's really, a disgrace because of what I grew up there all my life. And to see, what's going on now. I mean, my mom and dad would roll over and that, I don't know, Mary Pat has a lot of pictures of what goes on down there. So maybe, you guys can see, but a lot of them are going into that condemned, they keep breaking in. Because I talked to the code enforcer and he's sent people down there to, to make it be more sturdy and everything. But it's just, I don't feel safe anymore. So that's my, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mary Kitty.
Look, this is what Mary Kay's talking about. I know legally there's not too much you can do, but there's one house that they go to, and it's traffic all day. Sometimes at night, you're outside cussing and dropping F bomb, and I've lived in my house for 73 years, and I'm kind of scared myself. They're either going to the brown house, the first picture, the house behind her, or the last one, or over the hill. And
Or you condemn on it.
and then the one over the hill. And done. Oh, check it out.
Thank you. Thank you for coming and sharing that with us. I know you spoke with Chief Kitty earlier, and we will definitely look into that, check on the condemned home, and see what we can do.
There's no certain time of the day, it's all time of the day.
Vice Mayor
Her
Riffle.
parking lot, Mary Kay's parking lot is directly across the street from my house. And I do see it's like they have to go together.
Yeah.
They'll wait for each other to cross the
I
street.
hate for people to be afraid.
Can we clarify where this location is?
Yeah, Chief Kitty I think he has the location. It's where Gourmet Cafe is. Bottom of
Okay.
Glen Oak, yeah.
We weren't sure. Thank you.
Kim Harvey, 209 West Pike Street, wishes to address council.
Good evening, Nice to see everybody. I've had, this is in regards to noise pollution. I've had several new tenants over the past couple weeks stressing their concerns to me about the noise pollution from motorcycles, loud vehicles, all times of the night. They're all professional medical people that work long hours and early mornings, and they've just been stressing to me their concerns, and I told them I would come this evening on their behalf. They're all actually at a medical convention this week, but I told them I would come and speak on their behalf and plant seeds with you folks. We had a similar situation in Boston when we were doing a development with the noise pollution. It was on a bus line and a train line and the motorcycles, etc. And we went to the city management, and they gave us a great suggestion that we start a 30 to 45 day campaign of promoting public awareness. So it was social media, Facebook pages, the city pages, and it was basically, quote unquote, what we could do as a Clean Up Clarksburg campaign for noise pollution. In this particular situation, it was radio stations, news stations, like I said, social media. The police put out their digital portable signs at intersections stating something, for example, as of September 1st, Clarksburg will no longer be tolerating loud vehicles, motorcycles, etc., within city limits, and tickets will be handed out. Come to find out, it was a huge success. After almost 2 months, it took people, routine and consistency and traction, but it was an awesome revenue generator, and I didn't have time, this was kind of a spontaneous thing, to go back in and see what kind of revenue the city did benefit from that, but it was very substantial, and all the money went to public safety, and the police department. So it just might be something, I'm just planting seeds, that we might want to consider in the future within city limits, especially our downtown, to start. I know they had a ticket structure. They were told through the social media, they had the 30 to 45 day notice for public awareness. That first offense was like $175. Second offense was $250. Third offense was $300. And people got cross at first when the first time they got pulled over, but then they just realized that when you come through the bridge and there's a sign that friendly reminds you to please don't rev your engines and turn your music down and be respectful of people in the community, especially now we have so many residential units in downtown, and it's growing. So I think it's, I'm just planting seeds that we would like to just see something maybe in the future along those lines, just being fair to everybody with public awareness, and so we can continue to increase our residential presence. Thank you.
Thank you.
Richard Crosby, 1 Bruce Street, wishes to give an update on a project.
Hi, I'm Richard Crosby. I know, one of you, and I just wanted to kind of give you an update on a property that we're working on. If you're familiar with where the Subway, Wendy's, and what have you, the edge of downtown is, we're doing a 3-story structure remodel, very, very large, restoration project. We're going to be converting what was a headache for the police, the rescue squad, the fire department, a major headache for all of them. As soon as I talked to any of those resources, they knew exactly what building I was talking about, and they actually knew exactly what the inside looked like. So it was very eye-opening immediately. And so I wanted to kind of give an update on that part of town. So since we started the remodel, it's been 1 year. So in that time, Wendy's has done a remodel, full major remodel. Subway has done a full major remodel. There's now a car wash that's converted to a vape store. That's already it's a second location. He's a Rosebud. You have O'Reilly's that's even updating their parking lot, things like that. I want to kind of just inform you that there's a lot of change going on down there. I'm sure you guys are aware of it, but I just want to kind of hammer it home, because we're still having some of the same issues that we've always had, right? So we have, we're there every single day. there's about 4 to 5 people that kind of come through that are like normals, you know, just normal folks that come through here. I mean, we've had our vehicles broken into, we've had tools come up missing, you know, we have multiple photos from where they've tried to kick in the doors on the job site. The police has done a great job in like helping us, especially at first, just showing a presence. And so like that way they, like people that would go there to make deals or do, you know, things that were not welcoming, you know, in the community, the police would be there, right? And so we're trying to change that. We're adding more cameras, we're doing these things, but there's still issues, right? So like I have to bring tenants through here. I'm converting a property that was a very big issue into a place that we're potentially we're hoping to work with places like the VA for, you know, living housing for the doctors, nurses. We're talking about bringing to a very bad area high-end tenants, right? I literally just drove down the street yesterday and I saw somebody that was very clearly, you know, on something and unaware of their surroundings. I'm just trying to figure out what you guys recommend for me on like, how do I bring people in and show them like this, you know, brand new remodel and have them drive by that, right? Like, it's a serious issue. Like if we, like, so my investor, we're willing to put, you know, a lot into this community. You know, we're working on, you know, multiple properties already in this community. We're happy to do more, but we're not gonna keep going forward if we can't get this place rented. And I'm telling you right now, we're not gonna get it rented with stuff like that on the side of the road. I mean, even the tower that's by WDTV or whatever the news is there, they're replacing all their windows, major upgrades, right? So it's like, we would appreciate the city, you know, support. We already have, you know, great, you know, from the city offices. We have great support from them, great support from the code enforcement, great support from the fire department, everybody. We would like to reach out to the council to see if there's something that you may do to work with them, to work with us, to make it a little more safe, you know, because it's still a lot of residents back there that deserve, you know, a safe community. I mean, we shouldn't be just seeing the stuff. I mean, I have people stop on my job site all the time looking for, hey, you got an hour work? You got an hour work, you know, stuff like that. I'm not saying what it is, but we all know what it is, right? I can't have that, I can't have tenants, they will leave. They will not renew, they will leave if they have people coming up to the door asking for, hey man, I need a couple quarters, I need $1, I need, you know, so what do you got, what do you got? I'm not saying we gotta like, you know, push them out, but I feel like there has to be a better location for services rendered to them that might, you know, help get them away. Because Dollar General wants to remodel too. That's the corporate comes through there and sees that, they're gonna leave it exactly how it is, right? So, you know, we wanna make a change, we wanna work with you all to make a change, so please let me know how I can better be involved to make that happen. So I appreciate it, and again, Richard Crosby, I am involved with property management, and it is 1 Bruce Street, right down the road, and I appreciate all of your time, thank you.
Thank you.
Shannon Welsh wishes to address council concerning a safety issue on 1407 Adams Avenue.
Hey everyone, thank you all for allowing me to speak tonight. I'm here to request that a current permit be issued by code enforcement, or I'm here to request that the current permit issued by code enforcement to my neighbor Jerry Sands for the construction of a fence at 1407 Adams Avenue be canceled or paused until a certified property survey is conducted. Both my neighbor and I do not have a certified property survey, to my knowledge at this point, that clearly defines a boundary between our properties. I own 1401 and 1403, he owns 1407. The permit issued allows my neighbor to build a fence, but there is a real possibility that the fence will encroach onto my property. This uncertainty creates a risk for both parties that could lead to legal and financial complications. If the fence is built on my property, it could lead to a significant encroachment issue. Resolving such disputes often involves costly litigation, and once the structure is erected, courts are hesitant to order its removal. While the survey will help to stop current process and ensure that long-term legal issues are resolved, fire safety is the most critical issue at hand. Additionally, I want to bring to your attention that a portion of the current fence and potentially the future fence, if construction continues, poses a significant fire threat. This matter is currently being investigated by the fire marshal. Allowing construction to continue without addressing the fire risk could endanger surrounding properties and, more importantly, my personal safety. If my neighbor is allowed to build without proper safety measures in place, the threat to my safety becomes very real. I respectfully request that if the permit is reissued, it must be signed off on by the fire marshal to ensure that safety measures are properly addressed and implemented. Some council members may recall that I've already been through a house fire at that address. I understand firsthand the seriousness of a threat to safety during a fire and the devastating consequences that it can have on a family and community. While I do not wish to disparage anyone, it's important to note that the individual is well known by the city and code enforcement due to multiple code violations. Recently, a temporary document was issued allowing individuals to live in this structure that is currently on the condemned list. I feel very strongly against this, but I understand that the decision may have been made without full knowledge of the situation that I've been dealing with. It is a reminder of the importance of clear enforceable standards and the necessity of ensuring safety for all residents. As a young adult, I originally owned this property that Jerry is currently in, but unfortunately, Jerry, as an older adult, was able to manipulate the system outside of my understanding at the time. Without my awareness, he legally took the property from me via quitclaim deed. Which I later learned about by becoming a realtor. This experience highlights the importance of ensuring that my property rights are protected moving forward, as the past events have already put me at a disadvantage. While I cannot comment on specific ongoing or resolved cases, it is clear that the property disputes can become complex, and the financial and emotional toll can be significant for all parties involved. In some cases, even with the best intentions and efforts from both the city and private individuals, these disputes can result in outcomes that impact the relationship and resources. It's critical that we learn from these instances and we take steps to prevent similar disputes in the future. I believe that by requiring a certified property survey now, we can help protect the city residents and property owners from prolonged legal conflicts, ensuring everyone's rights are respected and potential issues are addressed before they escalate. I believe in learning to do things better rather than continuing to do them the same way they have always been done. Simplicity is key. Sometimes following a well laid out, proven method can be easier than expected if you give it a shot. This approach aligns with my commitment to ensuring that decisions are made with clarity, fairness, efficiency, and benefiting everyone involved. In light of the potential for boundary disputes, encroachment, and the fire hazard posed by the current and future fence, I respectfully request that the City Council cancel or suspend the current permit issued for 1407 Adams Avenue. Furthermore, if the permit is reissued, I request that it be signed off on by the fire marshal to ensure that all necessary safety measures are in place and that the fire risks are properly mitigated. This will ensure that the boundary is clearly defined, the fire risk is mitigated, and that the construction adheres to legal safety standards. By taking this action now, we can prevent a costly and complicated legal situation from developing. It's a proactive and fair step that protects both me and my neighbor while also preventing the city from incurring unnecessary legal expenses and mitigating fire risks. On a different note, I would like to mention that I'm running for House of Delegates, District 70, and my name will be on the ballot for all members of the district in November. So I kindly ask for your support and your vote in the upcoming election. If you'd like to contribute to my campaign, you can donate via the committee to elect Shannon Welsh. Please feel free to contact me for more details on how to do so. I also encourage any constituents to follow me on social media and feel free to ask me any questions after my speech regarding my platform or any other personal concerns. Thank you for your time and consideration, and I appreciate your attention to this important matter.
Thank you. Just want to make note to the audience that unfortunately we're not allowed to have a dialogue right after that after your hearing or your public comments. But if you stay after the meeting, I'm sure one of the council members or myself would definitely like to have a conversation. Thank you.
Approval of the minutes of the regular session of August 1, 2024.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
No.
Motion carries.
No unfinished business. New business, consideration of a resolution of the City Council of Clarksburg, Harrison County, West Virginia, to adopt the Region 6 Planning and Development Council's multi-jurisdictional hazard mitigation plan update for the city of Clarksburg.
Make a motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Consideration of the payment of $204,841 for the air packs for the fire department, with said monies to be taken from the levy fund.
So moved. Second.
Discussion?
Kim, could you come up and kind of fill us in on this, please? Unless somebody else has something to speak, say, before she speaks.
Oh, we'll
It's-
let Kim
All right.
speak first.
The cost of the air packs is $204,841, and we're proposing to pay for those from the levy fund, from funds that we have already earmarked for the fire department, for a partial payment on a rescue truck, some turnout gear, and miscellaneous equipment. That totals $205,000 that we have saved, so that will cover those air packs for now.
So those funds anyway were gonna be used for the fire department?
For the fire
Okay.
department, yes.
So, in this email, you listed some other things. Can we afford not to have the other items?
Well, we're working on getting grants for those other items.
Okay. I also saw the discussion about the congressional spending,
Right.
and changes in that.
Those cannot be changed, they're codified, so you can't do a change of scope on congressional funds.
Right, and so it says these funds could potentially be replaced. And I'm just looking, do we know when those would come?
Well, I thought that was the case, that it could be replaced, but then Shayna let me know
Okay.
that that cannot
You can't
happen.
do that.
So she's
Okay.
looking for other avenues to pay for that other equipment.
All right, so that whole last paragraph is null and void?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? Thank you, Kim. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Consideration of a funding request in the amount of $2,000 by Amici.
So moved?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Sorry, the mayor also wanted to let everyone know in council he's in favor of this as well.
Sorry, one more time. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Consideration of two appointments to the Parking Authority.
Vice Mayor, I move that we appoint Michael Mons to the Parking Authority.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Consideration of the additional appointment to the Parking Authority.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we appoint Paul Jones to the Parking Authority.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Ryan Dees,
Yes.
Martin Howe,
No.
Mark Jackson,
Yes.
Wayne Worth,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Riffle.
Yes. Motion carries.
Consideration of two appointments to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Mr. Vice Mayor, I move to appoint Patrick Schaefer to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And then I'll make a motion to appoint Chris Min to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Consideration of an appointment to the Sanitary Board.
Mr. Vice Mayor, I move we appoint Frank Ferrari to the Sanitary Board.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Consideration of an appointment to the URA.
Mr. Vice Mayor, I move to appoint Sam Lopez to the Urban Renewal Authority.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Ryan Dees,
No.
Martin Howe,
Yes.
Mark Jackson,
Yes.
Wayne Worth,
Yes.
and Vice Mayor Riffle.
Yes.
Council comments?
We can start down with Councilman Worth.
I thank everyone for coming out tonight, and voicing your concerns. I guess to your all's issue down in Glen Elk, I guess that's being worked out with the chief right now. We do have a condemned structures law in the state of West Virginia, where if someone is caught trespassing in a condemned structure, it is an arrestable offense. So If you see anyone in a clearly marked condemned structure, call 911 immediately, because that is an arrestable offense, and we take it pretty seriously here in Clarksburg. Matter of fact, that law was pretty much came out of Clarksburg, the bill to make that into law, because we had such a problem with that. The noise pollution, do we have anything in code, city code or state code on noise pollution?
Not particularly.
Not particularly,
We've
okay.
got a little bit of stuff on it, but part of our issues, we don't have any way, my understanding is to measure the noise, so that creates part of the problem. Without any measuring, it's hard to quantify that to say it's too loud, prosecute it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering about that, so, and how that, that would be enforceable, so.
But it's something we can look at. I'll give it to the chief.
Awesome. And, Mr. Crosby, I do appreciate your comments. I also appreciate, you wanting to, revitalize our West End. That the West End has always been sort of an issue. It's kind of the, kind of like I usually call it like the terminal point for folks to get from, the west side of town to the east side of town, and in between there, we usually have a lot of problems, especially behind Wendy's, heading out towards Height Field. I can remember myself and two other council members, we used to do a lot of litter cleanups in that area, and those litter cleanups, pretty much turned into neighborhood watches. And I will tell you, there are a lot of resources out there to help folks, get off drugs, get into housing. I'm a social worker. I do that every day, even with community corrections, and we find a lot of success in it. But we only find success in helping folks that are struggling with these habits, hurts, or hang-ups, when they want to help themselves. It's really hard to try to encourage people to change, their lifestyle, especially if they're impacting other folks, and impacting, our community in a negative way. And a lot of times, that leads, the addiction leads to incarceration, leads to overdose and that sort of thing. I don't really know what the solution to the problem is. What I can tell you is that we did, a few years ago, we did find some success, in doing, little small things that, could be something as like picking up litter, walking a dog, whatever, as a neighborhood watch to create a presence out there. That did make a difference when they saw folks out there with yellow vests, taking care of their community. They're like, these folks are watching us. Maybe we need to get back to that, as a, I can't do that in official capacity as a city council member, but I could do it as a citizen. And maybe we need to get back to that, those weekly cleanups and stuff, and target those areas and, within our city that are dealing with those issues, and then report those accordingly to law enforcement, or whoever may be able to help. The other issue with that is that, you need volunteers to do that. And I spent a lot of time, out there picking up litter in Clarksburg, and sometimes I have 15 volunteers, which is great, and a lot of times I only have 4, and we can only do so much with 4 people. So I'll meet with you afterwards and kind of talk to you more about this, possibly what we could try to organize. Of course, a better police presence always helps, but we have a whole city and we have 36 officers, so we're doing our best with that. But I do appreciate you wanting to invest in our residential redevelopment. We just passed a land bank. There's going to be a lot of opportunities for redevelopment in that. State just passed a in 2023 a Build West Virginia legislation that if you have over a $3 million project or you're building 6 units or 6 homes, you could get state incentives too for being a home builder and a developer. So we just want to make sure that we don't deter good folks like yourself that want to invest in our city and provide housing, you know, for folks. So, so I appreciate you speaking on that. Shannon, I guess with your issue, I guess we'll have to let the city manager, you know, kind of look into that and see, you know, what we can do. That'd be my request if that could happen. The attorney may have to look at it too. So, other than that, I have 2 requests just for the city manager. Can we for the past couple fiscal years get a get data on how much revenue we raise from B&O taxes on infrastructure projects? And then my second question is can we get an update too, like an email update on the land bank on the properties we have purchased?
They're still at the auditor's office.
Oh, they're still at the auditor's
It takes a long time.
Okay.
It's
all
not
right.
a couple month thing.
Okay.
It takes a long time to get those back to us.
Yeah. Well, once those get back to us, you'll let us know. Okay.
Yes.
Fantastic. And that's all I have. I appreciate you guys coming out, so.
You two were talking about the condemned houses.
Mhm.
We can do that. The biggest problem with most of these people born are in that brown house that is occupied.
Oh, okay.
So would that be for code enforcement?
Well, that would be, I could talk to you about that after the meeting, because I'll be out of order if I talk to you during the meeting, so. Sorry.
All right, thank you. Councilman Howe?
Thank you. Thanks for coming out tonight. Appreciate everybody's input, and again, you know, just from citizens, investors, you know, that's we appreciate input such as that. So I'm not going to regurgitate everything Councilman Worth has said, but we do care about that, and any investments are made. So we do appreciate you coming and speaking, and we will follow up. Again, I think you know, just to elaborate on Councilman Worth's request. You know, if we can add B&O tax construction also to what construction projects that we're collecting on currently as well. I'd like to see that. And other than that, you know, I did vote no against Paul Jones, and the only reason why I voted no was that he's just a city employee. So I just wanted to make sure that's understood. So that's all for me.
Thank you. Councilman Deems?
Thank you, Vice Mayor Riffle. You've done a great job tonight. Again, you know, thank you for coming. One of the things I said in my campaign was that I think that the neighborhoods are the game changer for the city. If the neighborhoods are clean, safe, and attractive, all the other things that we want for the city with business development and bringing more people in, takes care of itself. So, you know, I think Councilman Worth was 100% correct. The more that people are out in the community, I think it's proven that there's less crime and just a general better quality of life. You know, if we know our neighbors. I know a lot of people kind of got used to being by themselves during COVID and that time, and we're still kind of, maybe that's our tendency to just kind of pull up in our house, and everyone's busy, and I understand that, but you know, as a city, I think we should consider what we can do to help get people into the neighborhoods and you know, meeting their neighbors and being more actively involved. And you know, the principles of labor organizing tell us that people have to feel like their opinion's wanted, and that they're valued. So I think that's something that city council should work on, as we're moving forward, making sure that the city is a place that, is welcoming to opinions and ideas, and helping facilitate that, and building the next set of leaders for our community. I thought the noise pollution campaign was a really interesting idea. I'm sure that it is a problem with Pike Street. I will say, I think in Northview it's a problem. You know, my wife and I live on Pride Avenue, and last night there were 4 younger people riding 4-wheelers and dirt bikes at 9 o'clock, and it was really loud. And you know, we'll be going to bed and hear these big trucks revving up, and it sounds like they're drag racing down the street. You know, I would be really interested to know what we could do as far as measuring noise pollution and any kind of enforcement that we can come up with in that. I think is worth looking into. Mr. Crosby, thank you for your investment. Like Councilman House said, I really think that the West End is shaping up, and it's getting nicer, and that's important, and we need to keep working on that. Ms. Welsh, same thing. We'll have to have the city manager and the city attorney look at that. But I'd just like to wish everyone good luck as we go back to school. Harrison County schools start on Monday, so be aware that school buses will be out, kids will be out and about, traffic will be higher. If you live in a neighborhood that's heavily populated, leave some extra time in your commute. There have been a couple mornings that I've been late to school because I got stuck behind a school bus, and they didn't think that was a very good answer, so to why I was late. But you know, just be aware of that, and make sure that we're obeying those traffic laws and keeping everyone safe. I know the Parks Department is having the grand opening of the pickleball courts on Saturday. I think that's a great investment for our community. Really excited to be there and to play. I just have one question for the city manager. I know I keep asking this. How close are we with the POTA?
We've only got 4 back.
Okay.
It's at the AVC, so we're basically done our side.
Okay.
It's up to the state to finish off.
Okay, so we're just waiting on the state now.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have 4 applications now. I don't know how many establishments are eligible.
There's more than that, but
Can they?
they can join later.
Okay,
Yeah, there's no we haven't put any restrictions on that, so,
so it's kind of a rolling enrollment, if you will?
yes.
Okay.
Within the designated area.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Jackson?
I would like to thank everyone for showing up this evening, coming in and airing your concerns to us. You know, a lot of what I keep hearing is, you know, one, the thing that really makes me happy right now, we have investors in our city, and it's up to us as a council to react now. On Tuesday, the 20th at 6 p.m. at the Robinson Grand, we're gonna have a community conversation. And that conversation is gonna be geared around the homeless issue and also the addiction issue that we're dealing with here in our city. We keep hearing people are coming from different communities. If we're gonna revitalize our city, like I said in our last meeting, it starts in our communities, in our neighborhoods. So we have to act now as a committee. You know, as Councilman Wirt said, you know, we can't make people accept help, but if they're not willing to accept help, then they have to accept the consequences for their actions. We can't let the actions of a few slow down the progress of our entire city. It just can't happen that way. You know, we're tasked to handle this situation, and, you know, we need to make it happen. You know, I would really like to see our police officers on those e-bikes. You know, we spent that money, and I think that that would be a good opportunity to get those guys out there and, you know, get them moving around in, you know, some areas that they can't get to in those cruisers. So, you know, I'd really like to see that happen. The other situations, I will reach out and I will sit down with the city manager and talk to her to find out if anything's going on. But I encourage everyone, please show up at the Robinson Grand on Tuesday. You know, I'm not saying this is gonna be a fix-all situation. It's gonna take a while because we've been in this mess for quite a while. But we're gonna get this conversation started and we're gonna eventually put a plan in place so that we can start to work with the individuals who are out here on the streets to get them off of the streets, get them the help that they need, and also to make sure that we get the people in our communities the help that they need. People are tired. People are tired, and I get it. You know, I know what it's like to try to sleep at night with your window up and people are walking by and they're cussing and screaming and going on and on. You know, enough is enough already. It's time that we go ahead and address this matter. We're gonna have to hit it head on, you know, and like I said, this meeting is not gonna be about berating and belittling each other. It's about, let's go in here and let's start talking about solutions. Let's keep this solution focused. So I look forward to seeing everyone on Tuesday. Thank you all for coming out. 6 p.m. I'm sorry, 6 p.m.
Thank you.
Information here.
Thank you. I'll go last. Mr. Crosby, thank you for coming and speaking. It's what it takes is investment. It takes momentum from other businesses, as you've seen, as you kind of highlighted. And then it comes to the community, like everybody said already. We used to spend a lot of time in the West End with Clarksburg Community Action. Just being a presence, being there, constantly there. It encourages other people in the neighborhoods to come outside on the front porch and, you know, hang out and be outside more than we're usually, when there's other people around. When we're walking the streets, cleaning up trash. So that's what it takes, and you know, it's already a societal issue. People like get to stay inside their house now, but it's going to take the community to come get outside as a whole for the momentum to keep going. So I mean, that's what I would say to you after, and I can talk to you more after too. But I think everybody's already covered most of that. The pickleball courts, you mentioned that it's been a long time coming. I hate that government takes a long time, but I think pickleball courts, we started the conversation in 2019. And, you know, it's 2024 now, and we're finally, these courts are going to be amazing. So I'm looking forward to that. Even challenging county commission, Doug Comer, our director of parks, called out, he said that he wants city council to play against the county commission, so I welcome that challenge so we can take on that. I think Susan probably can play though. It's, I think she's been playing before, so. But we'll take out Hinkle and treat costs for sure. This past Sunday, I know it's a controversial situation and issue, and we celebrated the 100th anniversary of John W. Davis running for president. Now, John W. Davis, the person, isn't what we celebrated. We celebrated August 11th, 1924, that day, because that day was huge for our city. No person ever in the state has ran for president. We have somebody come right from our city. In the stories that I heard, I mean, I talk a lot, but this past weekend I listened because it's important to hear the stories. Just so many things that I did not know about our city, and I constantly at the History Museum talking to people. I even learned news stories this past weekend. There was 80,000 people here that day. Hotels were full. People were staying at other people's houses. I mean, that was a different time. You don't have that now, but I guess Airbnb started, so maybe it started because of things like that. But our city, the History Museum, the Historical Society, Mike Queen, so many people in the community came together to roll out the red carpet also for Cyrus Vance Jr., which was the son of Cyrus Vance Sr., and his dad was very important to our city. His son has been very successful in his life, district attorney in New York. And he came back and he got to learn about his family heritage and things that he didn't even know. But we rolled out the red carpet like Clarksburg true style, like, as we should. And so I was very proud for that. And the people that are in the History Museum, they really put a lot of time into things like that. They brought history to life that weekend, and they really just did a great job. So I want to thank everybody at the History Museum, everybody that came out, everybody that celebrated that day. I know, again, he's a controversial figure overall, I get that, but we celebrated that day, and that's what that was about. August 11th, 1924. So it was a great weekend. Great things happened, and just want to thank everybody again for coming out too. And we really don't need Mouth of Joe anymore, right? I think I got this.
He's probably listening.
Yeah. No, but he's on vacation, so I'm sure he's enjoying his vacation, and we'll welcome him back when he gets back. But
He's been missing.
what's that?
He's been missing.
Oh, I'm
Because
sure
he's
he is.
texting me.
Is he right now? So yeah, anybody else say anything else? Take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Meeting adjourned.